Trying to Save Face by Eugene Mathena. On dark and foggy roads, where shadows seem to breathe and the night carries whispers, I am reminded of a story a sweet, devout lady once told me when I was a teenager. This woman, a strict, old-fashioned Christian with her hair always neatly tied in a bun, led a gospel singing group that traveled from church to church performing at revivals. She was not one to lie, embellish, or entertain foolishness. Her words carried weight, and when she spoke of that night, I believed her. It was late, the kind of late when the world feels abandoned. They were driving home from a revival in Narrows, Virginia, their bus humming along the lonely mountain road. The fog hung heavy, muffling the world around them, and the headlights barely pierced the gloom. As they rounded a bend, the driver slowed the bus, startled by a figure standing on the roadside. At first glance, it seemed to be a man holding a road sign, like a worker signaling them to stop. But something about him was off. His stance was too rigid, his movements too mechanical. As they drew closer, the atmosphere in the bus shifted, a chill settling over them. And then they saw him clearly. The man had no face. Where features should have been eyes, a nose, a mouth, there was only a void, a dark, gaping hole that seemed to drink in the light. She described it as looking into the bottom of an old, scorched frying pan, the kind blackened and pitted from years of use. The darkness where his face should have been not merely the absence of features, but an active, malevolent emptiness that seemed to stare back at them. Panic gripped the bus. The driver pressed the gas, trying to put distance between them and the faceless figure, but the passengers were already in a frenzy. The lady told me that they began to pray, their voices rising in desperate unison. They rebuked the devil, calling out to God to deliver them from what they believed was a demonic presence. As the bus sped away, she claimed the figure turned to watch them, though how he could see without eyes was a question none dared ask. Later, she told me it wasn't just fear but a profound, bone-deep dread that she felt. It wasn't just a man without a face. It was something else entirely, something not of this world. She believed it was a fear tactic, a manifestation sent by Satan himself to unnerve and frighten them away from their faith. Over the years, I've heard whispers of similar stories, tales of the faceless man, the roadside worker. Some say he's a harbinger of doom, appearing to travelers who are about to meet a grim fate. Others claim he's a spirit bound to the roads, cursed for some long-forgotten sin, his face taken as punishment. And then there are those who believe he's an omen, a warning to turn back or risk crossing into a realm where the living do not belong. In the Appalachian region, where folklore and faith intertwine, such stories carry power. They're not just tales but warnings, reminders that the world is vast and full of things we cannot understand. The lady's account stayed with me, her voice trembling as she recounted the encounter, her eyes distant as if she could still see the dark void staring back at her. Even now, when I drive those same foggy roads, I can't help but glance at the shadows along the roadside. And sometimes, just sometimes, I think I see a figure standing there, holding a sign, waiting. I grip the wheel tighter, whisper a prayer, and keep driving, never slowing down to see if he has a face. Eugene Mathena.